All right, how's everybody doing? Excited to be with you today. We've got a really killer topic, how to get more offers accepted. Aaron, thanks for being with us. I am here. Thanks for your comments. How do you get started investing is a great question. We have a whole bunch around that. Aaron, if you're not already a YouTube subscriber, you should check us out at YouTube, dohardmoney.com. Or Do Hard Money on YouTube, and we go over all kinds of ways to get started investing. That's not an easy question to answer at once. It really depends on what you're trying to do: wholesale, retail, fix and flips. If you're trying to do commercial, what your goals are, what your end game is. If you're trying to do BRRRR deals, but we do these trainings every single week, so join us. But if you have a more specific question that's not quite as general, happy to answer that. That's why I'm here. Harshawn Rice. I hope I'm saying that right. Good evening. Thanks for being with us. Say hello. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Excited to be with us. Thanks for being here. Okay, let's talk what you are going to learn today. So by the end of today, you're going to walk away with how to know a seller can accept your offer, like in advance, if the seller has the ability to. You're going to know the secret to seller motivation, how to find it, how to know what it is. You're going to learn how to be alerted to potential opportunities while at work. Literally, you're going to get a notification while at work that says, hey, here's an opportunity. You should check it out, which is awesome. You're going to learn how to use a proof of funds. And quite a bit more. So let's see here. Herbert, hello. Glad to have you here. Mr. Rogers, welcome everybody. Thanks for being back here, Mr. Rogers. Love having you here. Thanks for your contributions each week. Keep it coming. Okay, disclaimer, this show's for entertainment purposes only. Before you make any financial move, consult a real estate professional, attorney, CPA, and other professionals and an expert in subject matter. Everybody's situation's different. There's not one size fit all approach or guarantee that works for every investor. DHA may receive payments to sponsorships from guests or other forms of books, giveaways, items, discounts, or other remediations. As with anything in life, results come from education, following a system, hard work, and a determination to follow through to the end. I think number 4 is probably my favorite on there. Free swag. Who likes free swag? Let's see here. Aaron, you want some free swag? How do I say it? Harshawn, you want some free swag? Herbert, free swag. Mr. Rogers, free swag. Dwayne, want some free swag? Want some free swag? Here we go. We're doing today's swag giveaway. So at the end of today, this is the box that's actually going to be going out. This is what we're giving away at the end of today. So we've got our awesome Do Hard Money backpack. We've got our killer financial freedom checklist setup that's got a DVD, USB forms, and workbook. Let's see here. What else we got in here? We got some fun stuff we're going to be sending out. Man, I can't get this back in. This is really actually super cool. And we're going to be sending out... we've got a thermos. What are these things? Put your water bottle in. We've got an ice pack. These ice things, they're super awesome. We've got an exercise band. We've got our hand clenchers. We've got our cute little awesome Do Hard Money houses. And we've got a jump rope. All of this is going to be given away. So at the end of today, we're going to be announcing who the winner is from last week that's going to be getting this whole swag bag we just went over. But for next week, so we'll announce this winner next week. Here's what we got. Let me show you. Okay. We've got another big bag that we're going to be giving away for next week. So we've got Do Hard Money sports bottle. We've got another one of those cool insulations. We've got a Do Hard Money hat. We've got another one of those financial freedom workbooks, super cool. We've also got an exercise stretchy band. We've got a Do Hard Money shirt coming your way, and we've got another squishy house and exercise. So we've got a bunch of stuff coming in this one as well. Oh, and it looks like we got a wristband as well. So that's what we're going to be giving away next week. So cool stuff we've got here. So we're going to be announcing the winner at the end for last week. We'll be announcing the winner at the end of our live cast, and then next week you'll have this one that somebody can win. So let's see here. Okay, call me Sean. Nice. Thanks, Sean. I'm trying to be I want to get your name right. Herbert, swag, swag, swag. Love it. Who doesn't want free swag? Give up the swag. Yeah, buddy. Like it. Danielle, thanks for being here. Dwayne, swag me up. Swag bag. Sean wants the swag bag. Awesome. Well, here's how you win the swag. Let's just talk about it. We'll be announcing the winner at the end here. If you want to win this swag, here's how to get it. We're looking for great questions. Literally, I am here to help you guys in your real estate investing journey. And so I want you to ask questions. So please ask them. I want to answer them. We're going to interact. We're going to have a great time. And I'm looking for positive comments. These are especially helpful on the recorded YouTube video. So this is, you're in the live. If you're watching this in the recorded, please leave some comments on there, some positive comments. And if you watch the live one, go back and leave some positive comments. We look at those and determination who's going to get our killer swag bags. Also, we're looking for high interaction, meaning asking lots of questions, wanting to be a part of it. And I'm going to choose one winner. I typically do that every week where we choose a winner and do a swag bag. So review of last week real quick, how to make lots of offers using little earnest money. Who was there last week? And if you were, what did you think of it? Put some comments in here and let me know. Oh, this is interesting. Looks like my TV behind me is not, looks like it's not working. Oh, that's probably why. Hang on. Okay, well. Okay, there we go. We're back. Now you got our logo in the background. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so were you there last week? Let me know what you thought. How to only put up earnest money if you get an offer accepted is one of the things we covered. How to make offers on homes you have not ever seen. How to make multiple offers at one time. We covered this last week, all this. How many offers you need to make to get an offer accepted. We went through all this. You can check it out on YouTube. Just type in Do Hard Money, and it was how to make lots of offers. So great discussion last week. I agree. Thanks, Mr. Rogers. If you're joining us live, please comment. And if you're watching the recorded video, please put your first name and the city and state you're investing in. That helps me tailor some of my presentation. And actually today, I'm going to be showing you some specifics. So if you put where you're at and where you're investing, I can tailor some stuff to you specifically. Give me the zip code would probably be, no, the city state's good. A zip code would be even better. What's the best way to find motivated sellers? Daniel, great question. I'm going to be tackling motivation here a little bit later in the pod or in the live cast. And I think it'll answer. If it doesn't, or if you have additional questions as we're going through it, make sure you post them here. But we're going to thoroughly talk about motivation. So that's a really good question. We do these every single Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be here. You can ask any question in real time. That's the benefit of being here real time is I can get your questions answered. We can give simulations just like we've got, let's see here, Trace in Charlotte, North Carolina. We've got Herbert that's also, I'm from Charlotte. We got Charlotte, North Carolina, a lot of Charlotte, North Carolina guys, huh? Josh, where are you from, man? What state and city are you investing in? Would be really helpful for us, not necessarily if you're from there. Shout outs if I get your name wrong, really apologize. I take questions and build trainings around all the questions you guys ask. So these trainings, some comments from last week. Anthony said, ooh, I love Income Hacker. I listened to it on my iPhone. Check us out on Income Hacker if you're not already. These are from last week. Comment after the video is actually recorded. Sean Kelly, woo woo, happy to be the swag winner. Sean was our swag winner last week, so it's super awesome. If you like these live casts, and want to see them continue, I need your help. But let's take a few comments. Okay, Josh from Dayton, Ohio, fantastic. Dwayne, do you recommend partnering up with somebody to use the program to split the fee? Two, both can learn how the information, education about doing your first flip project. It just depends. I mean, that's a good question to ask one of our directors. So give us a holler, talk to one of our directors, and they can walk you through that. I think it's probably your best bet. There's pros, there's cons. Got to weigh it out and make a decision. And so, because when you bring a partner, you also split the profits. So the question is, what does the partner bring? Is the partner bringing money? Typically, you'll have a partner that's going to find deals and somebody else is going to bring some cash, and then you're going to work together in a partnership. So it just depends, but I hope that helps. Sean, Cleveland, Ohio, great. Josh, Greenville, Ohio, okay. Matt Matchell, I'm investing in Alabama and Chicago. I like it. I like both those. Who else is here? Where are you investing and what are you doing? Love to hear from you. I hope that answered your question, Dwayne. Again, if you want to see these live casts continue, I need your help. We're at 4,245 subscribers. My goal by the end of September is 4,275. So I am 30 subscribers short, and we're getting close to the end of the month. So if you're not currently a subscriber to Do Hard Money on YouTube, please go and hit the subscribe button. Let me know here if you're our newest subscriber. I would love to see that. The other thing is I am doing videos daily. I'm doing little under 5-minute videos on different things like calculating bird profits and real estate versus stocks and different things that you can watch really quick under 5 minutes. It can be very helpful for you in your real estate investing. So take a look at that. Check those out. So please, what you do is you give us a thumbs up as you watch those videos. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell alert. The bell alert will let you know as we're going live. Just go to Do Hard Money on YouTube and you'll see our channel there, and it'll alert you as we go live on things. And please, please, please comment on the recorded videos. That's really, really helpful as you give those comments on the recorded videos, and tell somebody else about it. If there's no better way to make financial friends than telling other people about what you're learning, and that can be a great way to form partnerships like Dwayne's thinking about doing. Okay, let's see here. Where do we leave off? Trey, is it best to form an LLC when doing real estate investing? That's a really loaded question, but in the end, what I don't want to do is have you worry about forming your LLC. I want you to worry about going out and finding properties. Yes, LLCs offer protection. I'm not an attorney, but they offer protection when you're investing. So think about this. Think if you bought a house, you fix it up and you sold it, but then somehow they found out there was mold in the house you knew nothing about, and somebody dies and they try and sue you. If that's the case, your LLC would be at jeopardy. If not, your personal assets would be at jeopardy. But let's say this, before that happens very rarely. When it does, hopefully you have some insurance, that type of stuff. That said, focus more on finding properties, not on asset structures. We also, if you work with our firm, one of the things we do is we're going to set up an LLC for you as part of the process as you purchase properties, and we're going to have you set the properties in specific ways. So we have a specific way to write contracts. We have a specific way you should be putting the properties vesting, which is how you own the property, and we help with all of that. So we would take care of that. So that's what I would say. I'd say go find a property and then work with somebody reputable. Dwayne, yes, and thank you. Perfect. Mr. Rogers in Georgia, I like it. Is the client in this climate? How are you locating motivated sellers? Herbert, great question. I am going to show you exactly how we're locating motivated sellers in this very climate as we are closing and working with multiple deals on a weekly basis. Mr. Rogers, once you do a deal with Do Hard Money, an LLC will be formed before closing. That's exactly right. Thanks, Mr. Rogers. Trey, got it. Thank you. Keep the comments coming, guys. I need them. I need to know where you're at. And Herbert, don't worry. I'm not putting you off, man. I am going to be answering these in detail, and I think you're going to be super excited. I got to get a drink, guys. Lots of comments today. Keep them coming. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the real estate market. Herbert brought it up a little bit about where the market is and this environment and finding these motivated sellers. Leonard, I finally got on here. I always miss it. No more. Yeah, excited to have you with us, Leonard. Then you missed the whole swag conversation, so you'll have to go back and watch the recorded video on YouTube. Real estate market update. Here we go. COVID-19 housing market. Job openings are much higher than during the initial pandemic. We're roughly 2.5 unemployed workers for every job opening in July. This is better than the 4.5. Basically, what we're saying is unemployment is coming down. We're seeing that continue. Weekly housing data shows that it's still a seller's market with home prices rising, homes selling faster than a year ago, and the number of homes for sale continuing to drop. Let's see here. Can you let us know about your requirements from the house? Can you let us know about, are you wondering like requirements to actually do a loan, or what type of requirements are you looking for there? Give me some more context on that. I try and keep this really general information, not super specific in real estate investing, but I can give a few specifics. But if you're interested in our firm, give us a holler is probably the biggest thing to do. We've got Leonard from Salt Lake City, Utah. I appreciate you being with us, Leonard. Okay, low supply is consistent theme, with only 20 of the 50 largest markets having new listings trend above the January baseline. The supply index in the least recovery subcomponent of the housing recovery index. So we're seeing some great things. It is a seller's market. Buyer traffic on Realtor.com is outpacing the record levels we saw earlier this year, suggesting that demand will likely continue to exceed the number of available homes. See, right now, you always have a problem in real estate investing. You're going to have a problem selling a property, or you're going to have a problem finding properties. If it's easy to find a property, it's going to be harder to sell it. If it is hard to find a property, it's going to be easy to sell it. There's an inverse relationship. When one's up, one's down. One's up, one's down. So you're always going to have a problem. So you've got to have a game plan on how you're going to work with both. Having gone through the 2008 recession, real estate recession, I've been on both sides of that, and I know what to do on both sides of it. So right now, the challenge that we're up against is finding good deals, because if you have a good property, it's gonna sell. There's enough demand, there's not enough houses available. So the issue you're gonna have right now is finding a good property. But don't worry, because down the road, I don't know, a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, it's gonna be the opposite, and it's gonna be a buyer's market and not a seller's market, and you're gonna have the opposite problem. Everybody's gonna wanna sell their house, and you're gonna have a hard time getting rid of it. And so you're gonna have to figure that game out as well. So that's why we're here. Abby from Greenville, Ohio. All right, there's a Greenville, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Ohio. Maybe there's more Greenvilles than that, but there's a lot of Greenvilles in this country. Okay, Michelle, okay, we have a contract, and you said the house did not meet your requirements, such as the square feet. Oh, differ from county records. Yeah, as far as, I don't know the specifics on that, but basically we don't want to do properties that are less than 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. That's, I think, one of the big things. The other thing that we run into quite frequently is tax records. So we go off tax records. So if the tax records are different than what the property actually is, that means that the house was unpermitted. Meaning somebody went in and did something in the house and didn't get a permit, which means the city could literally tell you to come tear down what's there. If the square footage is not accurate, it needs to get updated with the tax records. The other way we can actually do is actually measure it, but if that's the case, we have to make sure that the additions weren't done inappropriately. So that's the things you kind of run into. So basically, the tax records are up to date unless there's an error, which occasionally happens, but most of the time tax records are up to date. One of the problems a lot of people find is they look and they say, hey, tax records in some states do above ground square footage, and in other states does below ground square footage and above ground square footage. So it depends on the state that you're in. So we use tax records as a great equalizer, because here's what happens. If you're using tax records and you're counting a basement in an area where basements are not included in the square footage, you're actually giving yourself too much square footage compared to other properties. Whereas if you're only using the tax records, it'll give you the accurate square footage. So if the tax records are wrong, that means either there was a typo, which doesn't happen a ton, or it means there's something that was unpermitted. So you want to make sure that you're working with permitted, and you want to make sure your tax records reflect accurately for the above ground or the below ground. That's why tax records are the great equalizer. So we use tax records to make determinations on square footages, because the tax records should be up to date, and the tax records should show you what is actually being used, if it's above ground or above and below ground square footage. So I hope that helps. If not, give me some more context. Again, I don't want to get into specifics about what we do, because this channel is really about real estate investing in general. But I hope that helps you. And my whole thing, you don't want it 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. You don't want to do a 1-bedroom house. Typically, you don't want to go less than like 900 square feet on the house, and you don't want to be less than 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. So hope this is helpful. So we'll keep going. The latest data for orders of durable goods shows that things are climbing for 3 consecutive times, increasing. Looking at more recent data, Realtor.com's Housing Recovery Index rose 6 consecutive weeks to a new high of 2020. Great. I'm good. I hope I'm saying your name right. Michelle. Is it Michelle or Michelle? Or Andrea, maybe is a better way. Let me know. I want to make sure, but I hope that helps. If you need some more help with that, give us a holler and we can get into some specifics. Any of our team members can help you out. Okay. The main challenge is that sellers face the same slim choice with buyers. There's just not enough supply. Okay, let's see here. Why do you guys need 5 to 8 days to get an appraisal done when local ones can do 2 days? yet 5 to 8 days, we can lose the deal when it's a rehab pocket listing. Josh, great question there. It really comes down to states and where you're located at. We actually don't do appraisals personally. We do evaluations and we do desktop values. So our process is when we get a property or an application, we do a desktop, and that's where we actually have somebody go through and pull all the comps, look at that. That typically takes 48 hours to get that done. 24 to 48 hours. So usually 48 is what I plan on. And then we do an on the ground, and those on the grounds usually take about 3 days. Sometimes they take a little longer. So we typically have it within about 5 business days. We say 8 to give us a little bit. The other thing I will tell you locally, we're finding most appraisers are backed up. Lots of appraisals we have ordered in the past are taking 3 weeks to 4 weeks. So it just depends. But I think if you plan on, we like to tell people we can close really fast. We're usually waiting on everybody else. But I would say 10 to 15 business days. I think 15 business days is more comfortable. But yeah, that's some of the reasons. I hope that's helpful for you. And the other thing you've got to think of on appraisals is it's a normal appraisal is not going to be an after repaired value appraisal. So if you're getting an appraisal that also includes after repaired value, it takes longer, it costs more, and there's more details that goes into it because an after repaired value appraisal also has to have the scope of work. And that's the other element of this is we actually do a virtual walkthrough and we establish a scope of work, and we have to have a contractor's bid, and that has to go through project management. So those things has to happen before a after repaired value appraisal gets done. So I hope that's helpful, Josh. If not, hit me up with some more questions, or if it's again specific, give us a call, and one of our amazing team members can help you out. Okay, real estate is a seller's market right now. We've been talking about this. Another bright spot in the overall market activity, January, we returned to pre-pandemic levels. Compared to home shoppers this spring, those in the market are now more willing to commute further and are more likely to look for move-in ready properties. One more thought, Josh, on this comment that he's got here about timeframes. The other thing to keep in mind is you can put the property under contract and just put a closing timeframe on that. So letting know, and if they know that you're approved and ready to go, it can usually make things happen. Lots of times we're waiting on title. Like I've got a deal right now, I've been waiting for title for 3 weeks. And so there's not much I can do, and we're waiting for title. And some places they have to go into the county recorders personally. It's not digitized. Sometimes they're only letting certain people in. So there's a lot that goes into it. We can close wicked fast. It's usually we're waiting for everybody else. So over the past decade, U.S. homeowners saw their cumulative home equity climb $6 trillion. Just think about that, $6 trillion. That's a massive gain, larger than the GDP of every nation with the exception of the United States and China. Basically what we're saying is more than the gross domestic product that happens across the entire world, subtracted U.S. and China. That's what we've seen values of real estate go up in the last 10 years. So if there's any question out there, real estate is where you can make some serious money. Pal, not even thinking about raising the interest rates. The Fed suggests the worst of this crisis is behind us. Let's just jump into a little bit of a COVID update. We're seeing some uptick in some areas. I'm seeing some uptick where I live, but Maryland, we're seeing available beds and beds in use. Big discrepancy there, which is great. Available beds in Minnesota, 4,984, 125 in the US. That's for Leora. Mozart in Ohio, 14,000 beds with only 460 in use. Kent G from North Carolina, 7,000 beds with 1,000 in use. And we've got a few others in North Carolina here. So most states, we're seeing, come down from some early August. So the CDC reports 94% of patients who died from COVID had other health issues. I think this is a really important thing that we look at. Best bet this fall is to get the flu shot. I got mine. I hope you got yours. So let's see here. Josh, that's what's holding me back from going forward, as I'm told today, a good 2 weeks by one of your officers. Yeah, Josh, that's the thing. It is going to, I don't want to misspeak. It's going to be a good 2 weeks and maybe 3 weeks to make a deal happen. That's just going to be what it's going to be. And I don't want to, we can close something within in a couple of days, but we're going to need about 5 good days, maybe a little longer, maybe a little shorter to get values down on the property, virtual tour, that type of stuff. And we're going to need another probably 5 business days to get it closed. And we put another 5 business days in there because we're usually waiting for everybody else to get us title and everything else like that. So anyway, I hope that's helpful, and give us a holler. We can help out. COVID, top scientist stories, single vaccination. Immune reaction from some common colds provide protection against COVID, which is really good. Lasting immunity seen after mild COVID-19 infection reported, which is really good as well. Sean, how do you handle deals when the city has a point of sale and the city requires money to be placed in City Hall's escrow account? Sean, really simply, we don't. When you're dealing with those types of things, you typically don't get full title insurance. So if you have the money to do it, and then you want us to refinance you, we can look at those types of deals. But anytime you're dealing with a auction type situation or a city type situation where they need the money cash today or within 24 hours, that's something you want to be using your personal cash for. So be going after other properties. I hope that helps or answers the question. Yes, the seller has the deed in hand, but wants proof that I can close. Josh, that's really cool. One of the things we do is what's called a proof of funds letter. So you can print that out, give it to them. It shows we can close. You can put a closing time deadline for 15 business days out. They can call us or we can call them, let them know we're ready to go on this, subject to getting our inspections, evaluations, and everything done to put the package in order. To achieve so-called herd immunity, the point at which the virus can no longer spread is 70%. That's where we want to be. And right now they believe we're at approximately 43%, which means we are definitely moving in the right direction. That's the whole thing with a mask, because it helps with more herd immunity. Let's see here. Great. U.S. lifts advisory against all international travel. Rapid testing through saliva is coming. I'm excited about that. Kids are less susceptible to catching and spreading the coronavirus. This is what I think is really interesting, and I've seen this. People that are younger have a 5.2% risk of catching the virus if they live with somebody that has it. Those between 20 and 50 have a 14% chance of getting it if they live with somebody that has the virus. And those over 60 have an 18.4% chance of getting it if they live with somebody who has the virus. So those are interesting statistics and something to keep in mind. Sean, yes, that helps. You bet. How to get more offers accepted. This is what we're going to be chatting about today. And we're going to get into a lot of stuff. Who was asking about motivation, finding motivation? Who was that? No, it wasn't Leonard. It wasn't Trey. Who was it? Trey. Was it Dwayne? Nope, it wasn't Dwayne. Come on. Who was it? Who was asking about motivated seller stuff? I'm like looking through the comments. I must just be skipping over you. Oh, motivated sellers. Daniel was asking about motivated sellers. Oh, Herb, were you asking about it as well? Josh, yeah, I hope that helps. How to get more offers accepted. That's what we're going to talk about today. I got to get a drink, though. All right. Again, you're going to walk away. You're going to know how sellers can accept your offer, the secret to seller motivation, how to be alerted to potential opportunities, and how to use proof of funds letter, which helps out Josh's situation there. Herb, thanks for being here. Glad you joined us. Making offers to people. So this is one of the first ways you can do this. Make offers to people you know can accept it. Okay? If somebody owes $100,000 on their property, and the most you can pay for the property is $80,000, how can they accept your offer? Okay, they're $20,000 upside down from what you can pay for the property. Well, there's only two ways. Number one, you do a short sale. Number two, the seller brings cash to close. So if the seller's going to bring cash to close, this typically isn't going to happen, because if they have the cash, why they want to sell the property or why they're going to want to take a discount on it. In some cases, it could happen, but it's very low probability. Now, short sales, it's something we haven't seen. This is where the bank agrees to take less than what is owed to the bank. In most cases, the seller's got to be in default. This is a long process. I actually wrote a whole book on this. This is the most powerful secrets to getting short sales approved. You can check that out. But right now for short sales, it happens in a downturn. So back in 2008, we saw this a ton. So we're not seeing that right now. So how can we know what the seller can actually sell the house for? Well, we can't exactly know, but we can estimate it. And so what happens is the mortgage or trustee, depending upon the state that you actually live in, states the amount of the loan. Okay, it doesn't tell us the interest rate, but it tells us the amount of the loan. It also states the date that the loan actually occurred. Okay, so we use a reverse amortization. So we look at the average interest rate in that year. So for 2019 or 2020, what are the interest rates going to be? 3.5%, something like that, 3.75, maybe even a little bit lower. So we'll just average the interest rates for that year. And then what we do is we assume that they made all of their payments, and this comes up with an estimate as to how much they owe. So with Investor's Edge software, we have this estimated owed, and what I want to show you here, let me just jump into this, right? So if I just type in a property, who just gave me an address where they're investing? Georgia. Let's just do Atlanta, Georgia. Let's go. GA, there we go. Okay, Atlanta, Georgia. Look like there's Atlanta, Texas as well. Let's just grab this random property right here. So this is totally live off the cuff, okay? So what we have here is we have their estimated mortgage balance, okay, 132. So I can come here to mortgage and transaction history, and what I can see here is the estimated loan balance is 132. So their original loan balance was 145. They recorded it back in 2016. They originally got it for 145. But if they've made their payments based upon what the interest rate was in 2016, we think they owe 132,000. So this means they haven't made any extra payments. This means that we are guessing on what their interest rate is based upon the year that it was there, and it comes up and says they owe 132,936 is the estimated mortgage balance, okay? That's how we do this. Now, is this exact? Absolutely not, okay? But what it does for us is, yes, and it could be wrong, but the interest rate could be too high or too low. The payments could not have been made or missed, but it's good enough to spend 50 cents to send a postcard or to do other marketing to that, okay? So before you spend time making offers or sending marketing, make sure they can even accept your offer, okay? If they can't even accept your offer, you're wasting your time and wasting your money. And this is one of the ways, Daniel, that you can actually find off-market properties. I'm going to show you. So the first way we talk about is getting more offers accepted is make sure the seller can accept it. If they owe more than it's worth, they can't accept it. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your resources, okay? Does this make sense? Let me know. Throw some comments in here. Let me know if you have questions on this, on getting this to be getting somebody that can actually accept your offer, okay? The next thing is motivation of the seller. This goes back to Daniel's question, motivation of the seller. If a seller does not have motivation, it is hard to get them to sell, okay? So let's talk about some different types of motivation, okay? This is where we get these off-market properties. Non-owner occupied, vacant, expired listings, long MLS days on market if it's been sitting there for a long time, notice of default or Liz pendants, auctions, bank owned, corporate owned, trust owned, long time of ownership, number of properties owned, tax status, absentee owners or out of state, absentee owners out of country, bankruptcy, and divorce. So we have all these different types of motivation. Here's a few more. Dismiss bankruptcy, tax liens, HOA liens, mechanic liens, child support, solar liens, utility liens. So mechanics liens, and again, HOA liens I listed twice, I got excited. Bankruptcy, tax delinquents, free and clear properties, okay? So the question is, how do you get access to all this data? And the answer is, you can do the hard way. You can go to the county courthouse. You can track down different lists of this information. You can merge those lists together with Excel. That's the hard way. The easy way is going to be using Investor's Edge. So let me just show you. Let me just take a look at some of these filters for you. So here's really what you want to be doing. You want to build these filters, and you can come in here and say, I want somebody that's non-owner occupied, or I want one that the house is vacant and non-owner occupied, or I can say, oh, I just want vacant properties. But then I can literally come in here and I can go MLS stats. This is somebody that didn't sell. It was a failed listing off the MLS. We're looking at Georgia right now. So I've got 770 failed listings. Now I need to put a time period on here and those things. Now bank owns, the auction date happened, ownership information. Let's say it's owned by a trust, a corporation. So these are vacant properties owned by a corporation in Georgia right now. But what I don't have is how much equity. So then I come back here to value and I say, I want to make sure there's at least $50,000 of equity. And I don't really want to max on that. So there's 348 properties that are vacant in Atlanta, Georgia, that have more than $50,000 worth of equity that are owned by a corporation. Now, that's not to say I really want to be going after corporations, but it just gives you an idea. And one of the things that we do to help people out is we actually create these filters. So this is vacant homes that are single family, that are not listed, that have $50,000 more of equity. There are 7,149 properties that actually list that. Looks like the number just jumped up here. But they're all here. Now, you might not want all those. You might then want to make some filters on this. So this is what we're looking for, under 500,000. You can come in here and make some more filters, but these are actually your buckets that come in. Herb saying, how long in the MLS does it become a pain point for the seller? Man, in this market, things are selling within a couple of months. So if it's sitting for more than 6 months, definitely if it's sitting more than a year, it's worth making an offer on, is probably what I would say. But right now, if it's more than a few months, it's probably a pain point, but 6 months for sure. We used to, back in the day when it was taking 3 or 4 months to sell a house, we usually say over a year. Right now, I'd say over 6 months. So Herb, I hope that helps out. Keep it coming with the questions, guys. I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I want to help you guys. We talked about the hard way. The easy way is Investor's Edge, and we look at these pre-made buckets, right? So these pre-made buckets make it really easy. Here's another example. These are bankruptcies, okay? These are people in bankruptcy. Why is my map showing Chicago, not Atlanta? Okay, sorry. It looks like all my stats just got done because it didn't do a refresh. Bankruptcy, there are 2,048 people in bankruptcy, but those people in bankruptcy also, it's residential houses, so single-family condo townhouses. They're not on the market. They're not on the MLS, okay? They are in an active bankruptcy, or the bankruptcy's been dismissed, and you may want to take away one of those or put one of those in. It's under 500,000, and the estimated equity is they have 30% or more in equity. There are 2,048 people on that list. And then what's really cool is I can create these lists and make uniques, and then I can come down here and I can do a skip trace if I want to. After I do the skip trace, I can start some campaigns where I send postcards, voicemail, email marketing. I can do all that type of stuff. So it's super cool. Great way to do that. Let's see, question here. How do you get Investor's Edge? Give us a call, Michelle. Just give us a call and see if we're a good fit for each other. So if it's something that would be useful for us to work together. And then you can build these different lists, these property lists, and then you can know what's happening. And then when something comes on or off the list, like if the value goes down, or if the loan amount goes up, or if it sells, they can come on and off these lists right here. And then what you can do, which is super cool, is you can actually put these, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Okay, so we create all these buckets, right? So this is the easy way. So here's the other thing. When you have access to the multiple listing service, what happens is they have this thing called hot sheets. And a hot sheet means you're going to get an email when a home meets a criteria that you've created. So you create this bucket, this criteria. I want single family houses. I want in this zip code. I want people that are going through bankruptcy. Well, the cool thing is with Investor's Edge, it will email you anytime a new one comes in. So like these new buckets that we've created, anytime you're dealing with a property, let's go. Who else is here? Where are you guys from? Let's just do another city and state to look at this. Greenville, Ohio. I know nothing about it. Ohio. Greenville, South Carolina, North Carolina. Why isn't that? Maybe you were in, let's just do Greenville, North Carolina. Maybe you've got it wrong. So in Greenville, North Carolina, when I've got this bucket, right? So bankruptcy, 76 in bankruptcy, 927 out of state that are unlisted. I can set it up where if there's a new out of state owner that comes up that has equity, it will email me so I can be the first to know about that. And then I can go knock on the door or do some marketing to those people right away, or non-owner-occupieds or foreclosures. So it'll automatically alert me when one of those comes available, and it can put me ahead of the curve. And if you are wanting to go off MLS properties, which we don't say is the best thing to do, but we have a thing called MLS Sniper. I did a whole live cast on it. Check it out on YouTube, called MLS Sniper. And using Investor's Edge can really help you to do that. Dwayne, is it a wise choice to work with one realtor only or multiple realtors when trying to sell a fix and flip property? So, Dwayne, I want to make sure we clarify this. I don't think you should be trying to have realtors find you properties as a buyer as you're trying to buy properties. Now, it doesn't mean you can't have relationships. It doesn't mean they can't bring them to you. You should tell every agent, hey, I look for homes. This is the criteria. This is what I look for. Bring one to me and I'm happy to buy it with you. Do that every single time. But don't plan on them bringing them to you. What's going to happen is they're going to get frustrated because you're going to have to buy the property for so much less than what they want to get. And they're going to get frustrated and they're not going to be willing to do the work for you because they're going to have to make probably 50 offers before you'll end up getting one. Is probably what they're going to have to make. And most agents just aren't willing to do that. Now, some are, or if you tell them the criteria and they do it. Now, if you fix the property up and you're wanting to sell the property, you should commit to one agent. And I'm a big fan of working with agents when you're selling properties, not a big fan of when you're buying the property. So yeah, I meant as a part of the resale. Yes, you should commit to one agent. You should pay that agent their fees. You should have them help you with staging. You should have them help them with all the marketing. It is proven statistically you're going to get a higher price if you hire an agent. Because what happens when you sell for sale by owner, number one, everybody that comes says, you're not paying an agent, why don't you take 6% off? And you're like, well, how about we meet halfway? And secondly, you don't have maximum exposure. And you need maximum exposure to sell the properties, and you need an expert. I'll tell you personally, I have properties that are, I'm an agent myself, but I hire agents to do work for me. So I have a property listed that's commercial property that I have another agent that's listed it because he's an expert in that. And I have another property that's a medical commercial, and I have a different agent, not the one that's doing the office complex, that is working on the medical because he's an expert in that field. And so it's worth paying for good advice, and it's worth having the right people. That's my thoughts on it, Dwayne. Hope it's helpful. On the MLS, the hot sheets alerts, we talked about that. You set up the same thing in Investor's Edge. It'll notify you via email each time a new property meets the criteria that's in your specific bucket. Then you can call, stop by, email, and get the postcard and be in touch. Off-market properties. Keep the questions coming. Dwayne, it's a great question. Keep it coming. Most new investors think if they find an agent, they will get a good deal. This is typically not the case. We love agents to help us sell properties, and occasionally they will find a deal, but we don't count on it. We need to go after off-market properties. So see the list above that we talked about. You know, the out-of-state owners, the non-owner occupieds, everything we talked about, which is the same search criteria. So if I jump into one of these filters, let me hit filter, bankruptcy, valuation, mortgage information. Let's look at liens, involuntary liens, all this type of stuff. They have a tax lien, a tax lien on a property that's not owner occupied. Looks like none of those specific ones have a tax lien on it. So most people don't have tax liens. Let's look at some mechanic liens. So the more detailed down you get, the less you're going to have. Just look at other liens. So you've got to be careful on this because most people that have 30% of equity aren't going to have liens on their property. But if they did, it's something you're going to want to be going after, and it's going to be different by areas. Okay, so these are ways to get more offers accepted. Let's see here. They have higher profit if you're going off their off-market property and lower competition. Okay, the other thing we want to talk about. I gotta grab another drink. Okay, the other thing we want to talk about is proof of funds. We talked about those with Josh a little bit earlier. Proof of funds shows that you have money ready to go. This is something you show the seller when you're making an offer. It needs to have the property address on it and the loan details, okay? That's a big thing, is those proof of funds letters. Mr. Rogers, most deals on the MLS will usually have several investors bidding to buy it, which drives the price up. Couldn't say it better myself, Mr. Rogers. Really appreciate it. Short form contracts. This is another awesome ninja trick. If you go after off-market properties, you don't have to use the realtor form, okay? You can use any legal contract. So you can use a short form. It's much less intimidating. There's less to fill out. It's easier for a seller to say yes to. So these are some ways to get more offers accepted. Number one, know they can accept the offer. Number two, go after motivated sellers. Number three, use technology to get alerts. Number four, go after off-market properties. And number five, use proof of funds letters. And number six, using short form contracts. So what questions do you have? Please shout them out here. Let me know. Type them in the comments. I want to help get your questions answered as we continue on. All right, while you're thinking about that, I got some ice in my mouth. That's going to make it hard. If you haven't already, come check out our Find Fund Flip system. go to dohardmoney.com/get started, and you can check out our Find Fun Flip system. The other thing we're doing is we are doing an offer contest. It's October 1st to October 31st. If you make 10 offers, you're going to get a cool I Buy Houses mask. If you make 15 offers, you're going to get a cool I Flippin' Did It Do Hard Money Contest shirt. Just go to dohardmoney.com/offer-contest. Again, offer-contest, and you can earn one of these shirts if you do it. So great thing to join up with. Where is a good place to get the contracts? If you're a member, Dwayne, you can check it out in the members area. We have different contracts and forms in our sections there. You can check that out because the short forms have to be put together by attorneys. There isn't like short forms that the Board of Realtors puts out. If you need some help with that, chat with one of our CSRs if you're a member. If you enjoyed this, please thumbs up, subscribe, do the notifications for Do Hard Money, leave a comment, and please tell somebody else about it. Don't forget, register for that Do Hard Money offer contest. Yeah, you're welcome, Dwayne. Let's see here. What you missed last week. How to make lots of offers using little earnest money. How to put up earnest money if you get the offer accepted. How to make offers on homes you have not seen. How to make multiple offers at a time. How many offers you have to make to get an offer accepted. We're going to go through all that. What do you guys want to see for next week? Here's some different topics that I'd like to know. Please type in the chat, in the comments. Let me know what you're interested in so we can build our trainings around it. Also, we talked about it earlier. If you're not an Income Hacker listener, please join us on Income Hacker. You can do that from anywhere you listen to podcasts, from Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes. You can even do it from your Alexa. Just say, play Income Hacker podcast. So check it out. I think you'll really like it. Okay, Sean Kelly won our swag last week. So this week's winner, 2 weeks ago, this week's winner we are going to be announcing here in just a minute. But first, Herbert wants to know about subject to deals. I will get that on the list. Tyrone, explain the difference between short form and regular purchase contract. So Tyrone, you can use any form for a purchase contract. You could type up, say, I'll buy your house for this, and the seller could sign it. The problem is it needs to be, there's lots of problems that can come up because it's not totally included of every parameter that can be there. The realtors are required to use a realtor-approved long form, right? So a short form is just a one-page that has kind of some of the big bullet points taken care of. And you can use that rather than using the realtor as long as you're buying an off-market property. And that's basically what you can use, is just use a short one. So we just have one in our back office. Tyrone, I hope that helps. If not, let me know. Mr. Rogers, the Income Hacker podcast is the best. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Okay, so who's going to win this week? Our winner for this week is Mr. Thomas Daniels. Mr. Thomas Daniels won this week's swag of the week. We're going to be sending out this awesome, everything we went over, this whole swag box is coming your direction. Appreciate you being with us, Mr. Thomas. If you want to win for next week, do the comments for Mr. Thomas, or for last week's winner, if you haven't claimed it yet, support at dohardmoney.com. You need to email us. You need to put the swag winner in the subject line. Give us your screen name, your email address, your cell phone number, and we'll get your free swag sent out to you. If you haven't already, make sure you join our offer contest for October. You can win prizes, dohardmoney.com/offer-contest. If you want to get some swag today, email support at dohardmoney.com. Earn some free swag. Okay, thank you, Dwayne. Congratulations to Thomas. Absolutely. Next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, type in the topics you want, and we will be here same time, same place next week. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Let's see. We got a few questions. How do you offer referral rewards for bringing new investors to the Find Fun Flip program? We don't, Sean. We just don't have anything like that. But maybe we can get you a swag box or something. So I wish we had something, but we don't. It's complicated. But yes, refer people over to us. We really appreciate it. It's the biggest compliment you could give us. But I appreciate you thinking about us on that. Any other questions before we wrap up today, guys? Go ahead and put them in the comments here. Otherwise, make sure you join our offer contest. It starts in October 1st to the 31st at dohardmoney.com /offer-contest. Let me just go back here so you can see these cool swag that we're giving away as you make offers. It's a way to get you closer to the goals and the things you're wanting to do. All right, guys, we'll make it a very profitable day, and I will chat with you next week. Can you give the email again for the swag? Yeah, you bet. So if you were the swag winner, you come support@dohardmoney.com and you put swag winner. If you want to earn some swag, just put it support@dohardmoney and put earn free swag. Is what you're going to want to put on there. So appreciate you being with us. Everybody have a great day, and we will see you same time, same place next week. Make it a profitable day.